Well, I'm sitting here waiting. I'm not sure, but they told me to wait here, so I guess we're gonna do some kind of interview here in a minute. I don't know if they got anything to eat. Might go see if they got something to eat since ain't nobody. Where is everybody? Hello? Well, how y'all doing?
I'd like to introduce myself. I don't believe that we have ever met. I think that we could hit it off so well. Let me paint a picture, you and me together. I'd like to introduce myself.
Hey guys, this is Austin,
This is Mark.
and welcome back to Life with Rojo. Man, how's your week been?
It's been good. It's warmed up a little bit. It's starting to feel like summer, actually.
I know, I'm happy about it. We have a guest today with us.
Time out. It's not just a guest. This is an exceptional guest. No, we're so excited to have her.
Yeah, Miss Neva Howell. She's originally here from Trenton, is that correct?
Yes. Well, not originally from Trenton, but that's where I live now and love it.
Yeah, he struggles with reading the papers ahead of time. So he messed that one up. I think, were you from Manchester? Is that right?
No, I lived in
I made that
Manchester. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. No, I'm originally from up the mountain, Bryant.
Okay. Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I was just up there playing basketball last night.
Oh, yeah?
So, yeah, and I'm one of the shortest basketball players, but I was up there playing.
Okay.
So, at the Mountain View Christian Academy.
Yes, I
they
know
had
where
it
that
there.
is. Yeah.
So,
Did you win?
some games, but I lost a lot more, I think. So,
That's what happens when I play any kind of sport. Seriously, I'm not sports-minded. My whole family is, but
Right.
not me.
well, I think that you've got some skills that a lot of people don't possess, and that's what, gave you the opportunity and the hard work you've put in to land you the role of Ma Kent.
I know it still feels kind of otherworldly, not really real yet, and it really didn't feel real at all till I saw the trailer.
Right.
It's like, okay, I'm there. Yeah, this is happening.
Oh, that's incredible. Now, it's been a journey for you, though. You've been acting for 30 years, right?
30 plus.
Wow.
Yeah. Off and on. I took a little time off here and there, but yeah, I've been at it for a while and been to LA a few times. Went to New York, when I was younger.
Right.
And yeah, it's been a journey.
Wow. Now, did you do acting school in New York, or was that more just acting with roles you already had?
Oh, Lord, no. That was when I went to New York. It was for the National Shakespeare Conservatory, and I just went there for the summer
Okay.
for an intensive. And after that, I decided that's what I was going to do. Well, I'd already decided because I was at Northeast College for 2 years,
Right.
and I did every single play that they did for that whole 2 years. So it was in me. But after I went to New York, I decided, okay, I'm going to try LA. So I had an uncle who lived out there. So I went out there for a couple of years. Devastatingly difficult because I had no money and I had no car.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to get anywhere in LA, there was no Uber then. There was no, even taxi really. For LA County's 55 miles wide.
Oh, wow.
So you could get an audition anywhere in there. So just getting around was difficult.
And how long did you spend out there?
2 years the first time.
Okay.
And then I went back the second time with more support and more resources. And I got an agent, got a commercial very quickly. And I thought, I got it. This is going to be easy. No. Right after I got that commercial, I got a national commercial.
Oh, wow.
That would have paid me for, I could have stayed. I would have had money to do whatever I needed to do. Mm-hmm. But a day before they were to film, they called me and said that they had canceled The Wife.
Oh.
I had to watch that Caesar commercial for 5 years with this man standing there and a what looked to me like a huge hole next to him where I was supposed to
where you
be.
should have been.
That's how, it can come so close, and then it's just evaporates. So that was a hard lesson.
Now, when you have things like that, like that role, like, do you use that to motivate you, or how does that work for you?
It devastated me, really, because I had so little. That second time I had more resources, but it takes a huge amount of money to even exist in LA. So I really needed that commercial. And to have it just go away one day before I'm supposed to film, that was painful. That was hard. It didn't motivate me. It depressed me.
Right.
I'll be honest.
I mean, I could imagine.
I'll be honest. Yeah.
Is that pretty common for things like that to happen? You said, like,
yes.
you think you have something confirmed and then it just
yes.
taken away, or last minute producer changes their mind on a staffing or something like that. Or
very common. And it's not the first time that's happened. I mean, that's happened to me several times during my career, being just right at a huge opportunity, and then it just goes away. So when I was doing this whole process of Ma Kent, the whole time I was kind of mentally steeling myself in case it went away.
Right. So you kind of just have to prepare yourself about that possibly not, end up happening.
Right.
See, I feel like one of the reasons why I don't think I could do what you do, minus the talent. Okay, obviously I don't have that, and it takes incredible talent to do what you do. But like, I feel like I can be pretty petty sometimes, and if I didn't get that role, like afterward, like the next one I got, I'd be like, listen here, did you?
And let me say, pretty petty means Mark is very petty.
I'm capable. I'm capable of being extremely petty to the point where I embarrass myself. So I understand what you're saying.
All right.
And I think it did hurt me in a way, because for a while I was very resentful and very, I don't know why it's not happening. Why isn't it happening?
Right.
I was very frustrated.
Yeah.
But then there came a point, the part of it was just being in LA, I'll be honest. It was hard. It's a very brutal place to try to break into the industry. And when I made the decision the last time to come back home and stay in the South, I was very lucky, or it was very synchronistic, that right about that same time, that's when things started happening here. In Nashville, I got a supporting role in a movie of the week, and I got an agent here, and the work started becoming more plentiful.
Yeah, it just seems like there's a lot more in the South lately. Like, we moved up here from Covington, Georgia, and I know that there's a lot of studios there, and there's been a lot of shows and movies filmed there. My
sister loves that town. Did you enjoy living there? She did.
I did when I lived there, but it's so busy now. But
I bet.
Like, I do enjoy Dade County now for a little bit slower pace.
Me too. But yeah, Atlanta, maybe people who are not in the industry don't realize, but Atlanta is huge. They are doing dozens and dozens of films all the time, and TV series, and it's really an industry hub now, where before it was just kind of an outlier, but it's major. It's a major influence.
Well, I think that's incredible that you go to LA where everyone expects that if you're going to make it, it's got to be an LA type thing. And then it's when you came to the South when you started getting, a lot better opportunities.
And part of that, it is so much easier here. Even if you have a long drive, it's not the same as a long drive in LA.
Right.
Now, driving in Atlanta, that's a whole different. I don't care if I never have to do that again. And the good thing about this role was it wasn't in Atlanta. You drove down below Atlanta to get to the studios.
Oh, okay.
So for me, that was perfect.
Yeah.
It was still a drive a lot. Anything anything more than 4 miles, I really don't care about. But at least I didn't have to go through Atlanta.
Right.
Right.
So what kept you kind of going back? You know, you said you went out to LA a couple of times, and
2 or 3 at least. Yeah.
what kept you motivated? Like, I'm sure there are times you're like second guessing, like, I thought this was my calling or my thing. And like, what kept you motivated, if anything?
Well, I'll say that I never second guessed it.
Hmm.
There is nothing else. I mean, even close. Now, having said that, I also did a lot of spiritual counseling. There was like a 7-year period where I worked worked at a nonprofit spiritual retreat center, and that was wonderful. And that's still part of who I am. But as far as what creatively drives me, it's always been acting from the beginning. Now, what motivated me to go back was different each time.
Okay.
The first time, I wanted to see if I could do it. The second time, I went through a really difficult time in my life, and I felt like I needed something different. The third time, I knew I was going to do what I went there to do, and I did. And I got an agent, I got a job, I took all of the classes that I wanted to take. I mean, I would take one every night. I just deluged myself with training. And when I left that time, it wasn't because I had to. It was because I chose to. So that helped me close the door on that.
Yeah.
It took, I think, 3 times. And that third time was a charm because I went, I did what I set out to do, and I decided myself, this is not the life I want. So when I came home the third time, I remember calling my mom, and I said, Mom, it's taken me I said, it's taken me an hour and a half to go 18 miles. I was in traffic coming back from some audition or the other. And I said, I'm coming home. And I knew when I said it, I was coming home for good.
Well, that's incredible. And there's so much freedom in that, like what you just said, like, I chose to come back.
I chose to come back.
And that right there, I think, is probably been a huge mindset shift for you and everything. And even, with you being at the spiritual retreat center, I mean, I can speak for myself that, there's been so much healing for myself in spiritually, but then also being able to help other people in that way.
Absolutely.
It does so much.
Absolutely.
So.
But I think that was it. I had to keep going back until I closed that door, until I knew for sure that I could do it, but I chose not to.
Yeah.
So when that happened, I was able to leave for good. I'm not saying I'll never go back to LA. I might, but I don't think I'll ever live there again.
Right.
Well, right after my wife and I got married, we were, I was stationed in Fort Lewis next to Seattle. And so we drove from Atlanta, and we wanted to go all the way up the coast to avoid we got married in December to avoid some of the winter storms. And probably one of the worst decisions I've ever made driving in my life is got to LA about 5:15. And
AM or PM?
PM. so I think you know what I'm saying.
Sat there for 3 hours.
Oh my goodness.
Is 5 a.m. much better than 5 p.m.? I feel like I've never been to L.A.
Yes, because they're all still sleeping at 5 a.m. Well, I mean, enough of them are.
Right.
That it's not. You get in rush hour. I've been in L.A. on surface streets, going faster than the freeway. I would look over at the freeway and it would be dead stop. Four lanes,
Right.
dead stop. And I'm crawling, but they're stopped.
Right. And, I view myself as somebody who can stay pretty calm in a situation and everything. I was so frustrated that I was like, you need to drive. I just switched seats in the middle of the ride.
Now, that's a lot for you because Mark usually will go the speed limit. He's a law-abiding citizen.
There's one of us that is.
I, on the other hand.
It's you?
I'm the law-abiding citizen.
I do not like speed limit. The more suggestions to me, I'll be honest.
Guidelines.
Yeah, an ideology. Like,
Thought,
I could go 55 here.
Yeah.
Or I could go 65 or 70. So I don't know how I would do driving in LA. I would probably have a panic attack.
Well, that's the other thing. You know, you get on the surface streets, they're going 20, 25, 30, 40. I mean, people are opening their doors. You're passing by cars. You're passing by pedestrians. And you know, if you don't go as fast as they want you to go, they will sit on you
Yeah.
and honk at you and yell at you. So no, it was just horrible.
Well, you know, like I've been in New York a couple times, and my first time ever going to New York, I had waved at somebody as they allowed me to like walk in front of them, and they shot me a bird. And I was just like, I don't think they know what a wave means here.
I would never drive in New York. Oh, are you kidding me? But I remember when I we went into New York to see a play. I saw Cats, and I went in a Chick-fil-A or some restaurant, McDonald's, I think, and I set my purse down and started toward the counter, and the woman behind the counter said, "Oh, no, go get your purse." And I was like, "Why?" And it was like, if you don't, somebody else will.
Right.
And I thought, oh, I'm not in Kansas anymore, Toto.
Or Trenton.
Or Trenton.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, just in this little bit of time of knowing you, that when we're in some of those big cities, they can tell that we're not from around there.
All I have to do is open my mouth. Although I will say, once I was in LA for a while, people couldn't tell I was from the South because I adapt to what I hear. Yeah. And it would always surprise them because I would call home and talk to my sister and say, "Hey, babe, how you?" You know, they would say, "Who are you?"
But I guess that's a good quality to have as an actress, to be able to like change your voice.
I have a very good ear. Yeah. You know, if I can hear it, I can do it. But I have to hear it. I can't. For me, it's never about where to place my tongue or how to shape my lips to make a certain sound. That drives me crazy. But if I can hear it.
Yeah.
That's such an incredible skill because, you know, I was in the Army. I had to go to school to learn Arabic. And I still spoke Arabic very Southern. I couldn't do their dialect or anything. So
what that sounded like.
Everybody.
Say something.
All right. So this means like what's happening or what's going on. Okay. So shakamaku.
What's it supposed to sound?
Not like that.
Shakamaku.
See, you're any better than me. I went to school for it. But talking about that and the gift that you have with being able to do that, because I truly believe that's a gift that not everybody has, to be able to, you know, understand how to make your voice, you know, sound on what you would need to for a role. Can you tell us a little bit about this Ma Kent role and what you had to do there?
Well, James Gunn did what helped me most of all. He sent me an audio tape of the sound that he wanted. The rhythm, the cadence, the dialect, and a lot of it was pretty similar. I didn't have to change much, but there were things that were very different. So it was focusing in on those differences and listening to it over and over and over until it was pretty much automatic. When I went to set, I couldn't speak any other way. I couldn't really speak like I'm speaking right now, which is different than Ma. You'll find out. But
I can't wait to hear.
I know.
But she had a way of speaking that was just unique and interesting. And that gave me a huge advantage because I thought, okay, this is the voice. I have the voice. So, and I had a bit of personality also come through from her. And then I thought about my grandmother, who was a very stern, good woman who, I mean, she could slaughter a hog. She was like as short as me, 5'2", but I have a picture of her with a 2,000-pound hog, and she's getting ready to render that hog.
See, we're trying to find Austin a wife like that.
Yeah.
Right,
I'll-
there's some
I'll
people
see-
from Brian. or
Yeah,
Trey-
there's some mountain folk.
might be a little scared.
I'll set you up.
Keep my eyes closed.
Just don't ever cross her.
Oh man, we'll make it off the mountain.
So I felt like Ma Kent was tough in that way, that she was tough, especially when it came to Clark. That was her boy, and she would cross hot coals for him. And so that my grandmother gave me that. And then the other part of her that I absolutely knew was there was the unconditional love for her son.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got that part from my mom, because she's probably the most unconditionally loving person I ever met.
Wow.
So it was kind of a combination of this lady that I never met and my grandmother and my mom. And then, of course, the script, what the script gave me about who Ma was.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's incredible. So one of the things that always fascinates me is obviously the person Ma Kent has, been portrayed by different actresses over the years, and it's a role that people have some familiarity with if they've seen any of the Superman movies or anything, and that when you're really designing that character, and you and James Gunn and everything are working on that, it's like the people that inspired you, that impacted you so much in your life, and I love that there's some of your mom in it, some of your grandma in it, and then this lady from Kansas.
Yes, this lady from Kansas who I owe a lot.
Right.
But I lost my train of thought. What were you going to say? Maybe it's more better than
I'm sure it's not, but
whatever
I can guarantee it's probably not better than what you were going to say. But tell us, kind of like in a nutshell, like how did you get this role? Like how did that all kind of happen?
Okay, hold that thought, because what I was going to say was, oh, good Lord, I've lost it again. Oh, I was going to say I did listen to all the Ma's. I listened to Annette O'Toole and Eva Marie Saint and Diane Lane and Phyllis Thaxter. I listened to all of those, but that's not really where I got. The main thing I did that for was to see where it was different.
Mm-hmm.
It's the differences that I'm interested in, not the things that are the same, because they've already been seen.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I wanted to bring the differences forward.
Well, that sounds like a strength of yours. You already talked about how you have an ear to hear things and can adapt to things, so like listening for that difference that other people may miss, like prepared you for this role.
Thank you.
So
Now, did you ask me? Because we've went off the rails.
right.
What did you? What were you gonna
Yeah, tell us.
ask me?
Yeah, like how did you get this role? Like, was it presented to you? Did you have to go out and like audition?
Well, I have an agent, so they submitted me, and I was chosen to do the first audition, which was on tape, and then James sent back redirection, like, can you do more of this, or I forget exactly what he wanted, but so I did a second one, and then the third one was when he sent the tape, and so I felt very grateful to reach that point.
Yeah.
Because I know so many actresses were auditioning for that role.
Right.
So when I got the tape, I made the decision to put the entire tape on tape for him, not just to use the tape to memorize the script. And I don't know if that had a bearing or not, but I feel like it might have, because he could hear that I could do that voice.
Right.
Where if I'd just done the script, some of the words in the script were not on the tape. So I wasn't sure how she would pronounce those particular words. But when he heard the entire thing, I hoped that would make a difference. Whether it did or not, I don't know.
Well, it seems like it did.
Something worked. So when you got the tape, what was that like? I mean,
it was daunting. But it was also, I was so grateful, because I thought, okay, he has a very clear vision. So the daunting part was, can I feel it? Can I bring that vision?
Yeah.
But
the fact that he knew exactly what he wanted to hear really helped tremendously.
Yeah.
So then it was just a process of creating it, recreating it from the tape. And then after the tape, then there was back and forth with agents about potential terms and all of those things. I did not negotiate. I asked one of the people that I work with, who I won't name, who have a lot more credits than I do, should I have? And he said, yeah. So lesson learned. But I just took the first offer. But so they were talking about terms, wanting to make sure they were agreeable before we went any further. Well, I still didn't know if I had the role or not. They asked me to come to the studio to do a screen test.
Okay.
So after the screen test, it was maybe a week or two. Nothing. I heard nothing. And then they called again and said, could I come back to Trilla, back to the studio for a chemistry test with Pa. That's where they put you with the other person to see if you have chemistry. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
So I went back. And I'm thinking, man, if I don't get it now, I'm going to be mad.
Mm-hmm. Were you still kind of mentally preparing yourself?
It's like it still could go away. It could go away. And I assumed there would be a lot of A-listers, there reading for Ma. And they were the same for Pa. Well, I got there and there was Pa and me. So I auditioned with Pa. And then after I auditioned with him, in walks Pruitt Taylor Vince. And I thought, like a lot of people online, I thought, interesting choice. I don't know that I would have thought of him first for Pa, because I'd never seen him doing that kind of role. He's very talented. But from the moment he opened his mouth, from the moment he did the scene the first time, I forgot all about wanting Ma. And I thought, this has got to be Pa. This has to be Pa. And I was totally focused on, come on, James, you've got to cast this person. Right. Because I loved him. I loved everything he did. And he turned out to be just a tremendous support for me when we did so we were auditioning over and over and over. And I was so nervous, and James wasn't saying anything to me. Mm-hmm. He was totally focused on Pruitt and on the other Pa. And so at some point, needy actor that I can be, I said, James, am I okay? Do I need to do anything different? And he didn't say anything. He just went.
I feel like that can go either way. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It was a great thing.
Yeah, that had to.
It was like, come on. And so at that exact moment, I felt literally as if a weight that I didn't even know was on my shoulders was just gone.
Yeah.
And that's the first moment that I thought, I might have this.
Wow.
This might actually happen. And then at the very end of that day, a long day, James called me over and he said, we don't want you to drive home not knowing. We want you to be our Ma.
Wow.
Did you cry?
I almost fainted.
Yeah, I feel like I'm about to cry, and I just met you. Like just that moment. Like, I can't even imagine. I mean, it's like looking back at all the years that you've put in that got you.
Yeah, you're going to get me crying now.
Well, I'm not saying that because I don't want the grandma side of you to come. I want the nurturing, the mom side of it. Because I feel like he gets.
I don't want the hog hindering side. Please, dear God.
She's a good woman, though.
Sure.
Oh yeah,
really a good woman.
And all the
Just
give me was different.
Yeah. But I gotta imagine that in that moment, did you feel like time just kind of stood still for a few seconds?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I looked around, and all of the producers were there, And they all had these huge smiles on their faces. And I was just looking at each one of them thinking, to be seen,
Yeah.
to be seen and to be valued.
And you've had so many times that you shared that like you didn't feel that. And to feel that in that moment, like...
Yes.
I mean, I feel like for anybody listening to the podcast today, it's going to be so encouraging for them because I think we can all go through those times in life where we feel that we're not seen or we're forgotten or we're ignored or whatever. And then to have this moment where, they're like, no, you're the one that we choose. You're the one we want. This is you.
You are it.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to put it in words. But I guess what you said about time stopping, that really was, it did slow down. Mm-hmm. It just slowed down for that few minutes, a few seconds. And I drove home in some kind of place that I hadn't ever been.
Right. Yeah. I was about to say, what was that drive home like? Because, it's a good little drive.
It was.
Compared to the previous ones.
That time home was... the entire time home was worth it. Mm. See, this is it.
Right.
It wasn't all for nothing. This is happening. It was a blessing. It was a blessing all the way home.
Yeah.
And afterwards, it's just...
It's like a validation of all the years of
exactly.
perseverance and energy and money and mental energy and emotional energy.
Exactly.
Yeah. It was validated.
Yes. It was validated in that moment when he said, we want you to be our ma. And to see all those faces echoing the same sentiment.
Yeah, I was about to say, it wasn't just the one person saying that.
It wasn't just him. It was the money folks, all the money folks.
Yeah.
The people who are paying for this.
Right.
They're happy.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, honestly, just in texting you this week and spending this time with you today, I want you to be my ma too. So,
Right.
I hope the world feels that way.
Well, I think they will. I think they will. I mean, you are so lovable and just such a joy about you. I told my wife before I came, I was like, I already love her, and I've never met her.
Gosh. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And I think everyone will feel that way because, I mean, just the energy you bring, the love that you bring, the passion that you bring, it's incredible. So I'm incredibly excited to see this movie and to see you in your role. And honestly, I'm sure every other aspect of the movie is incredible. But the part I'm most excited about is seeing Ma.
Well, me too.
They're like, wait, who is this main character?
Superman, who's that?
Who's that? I thought that was the Mall Camp trilogy. So let me ask you this: how did you, or did you celebrate once you got home and it kind of like sunk in? Did you do anything to celebrate, or did you just kind of take it?
I shared it with my family.
Yeah.
That was my celebration. They've been with me through this whole thing. And, to be able to, I remember when I called my sister, she was over the moon.
Yeah.
And how that felt, to know that because they know how hard it's been. And for them to hear it first.
Yeah.
They heard it first. So.
And our community feels this way about the excitement for you. Like
it's been amazing.
I can go on Facebook and I'll see 100 different posts about everybody in the whole like Chattanooga area, Trenton, everything. Just so excited for you. And even when I came in, and we do our recording here at the library. And when I came in, the librarians were like, "She's the sweetest person ever." I keep telling my friends that I know. Superman's mom.
I've been blown away because people will come up to me in the stores and everywhere, and they're so happy.
Yeah.
And it feels good. It feels good that the community is supportive.
Well, one thing about this community is, and I love it, and we would never leave. We came here, and ever since, they've been a huge support for us. A few years back when my son was battling cancer, and he's recovered and he's doing great now. But The day he came back, the whole community shut down and they had a parade. The whole 7-mile strip from, from the exit 11 to my house.
That's
and
wonderful.
I mean, thousands of people were out there.
Wow.
And, from surrounding communities too. And it was at that point where like we could never leave. Like there's no way there you don't get this somewhere else.
I love it here. I've really, really enjoyed living here the whole time. And we have the best library in the world, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very nice.
They're fantastic.
They're fantastic.
Austin doesn't even read and he loves the library.
Yeah, all right. I can't read.
But can you render a hog? That's what I want to know.
Honestly, I'd take a chance, but probably not.
I think you'd do better with a hog than he would a
I don't
book.
know. I might. That is debatable. It's debatable. Read a book or a hog. I don't know. I might choose the hog.
Have you ever heard, what's his name? Nate Bargatze? Nate Bargatze?
Have heard.
I love him. And he's talking about reading. He said I try to read, but there are just so many words.
It really
just so much words, and they never let up. It says, can't you leave a blank page or something so I can get my head around it?
I'm kind of with him. I said the same thing to Mark. Sometimes me and Mark work out together, like in the mornings, and Mark is a talker.
Yeah, I start
he's
off with
a lot
words.
of words.
5 a.m.
And I just look
That's
at him
just
like,
too much words.
that's a lot of words for 6 a.m. Let's just meditate. Be
So we go to this gym and they have a sauna, and we like to start off in the sauna, and we'll sit in there before we work out, and there's always this one guy there that we don't even know. But if you think I have words, this man doesn't stop talking, and we have to just leave because we've already met our max amount of words that we can hear.
And Mark can tell when I'm done because I just close my eyes and put my head against the wall.
And then you start lightly.
Escape. Well, that is true.
He says, okay, I got to get him out of here before he hits something.
There go.
I've told the gentleman, I was like, the heat's getting to him.
A little too hot. I'm sorry. We gotta go.
I hope he doesn't watch this.
Oh, you know what? We love everybody, so we joke with everybody.
Right.
So people are just happy to be part of
And we
it.
won't mention the gym. We will not say the gym.
Yeah.
No, but we want to thank you for coming on today and spending some time with us. And I can't tell you how big of an honor it is to have you.
Oh, it's just been a joy. You guys are fantastic.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
I love it.
Well, we think you're fantastic. Like I said, just listening to your story and how you've persevered and all like the energy, like it's very it's motivating. Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad.
And obviously I'm no director or anything, but I don't think they could have picked a better person in the world for this role. Like you just seem like you have all the instincts, the characteristics, everything, and just sitting next to you, I feel like I can already see you in the movie. Like I feel like there's some aspects that you might have had to work on the voice a little and things like that, but I think a lot of it, is a lot of your true nature that just that loving and kindness that everybody in the community has told me about with you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Plus, I'm going to geek out when I see you on the screen. Be like, I know her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, where I live, they're talking about all of us going together, and that'll be a fun trip.
Hey, sign me up. Me and we'll be there.
Hey, I'll send like a chaparone.
We can. I'll buy you popcorn. We'll
Buy
do
my
it.
popcorn?
Yeah, I'll buy you
That's
popcorn.
a big thing.
Yeah,
Are you
it is.
sure? Because those have you seen the Superman buckets that they've come out with? They are so
I have not.
cool. One of them has his X-ray vision popping the popcorn,
Really?
and a lot of
Not seen
yeah,
that.
they have a lot of different.
If you let us chaperone your trip, we'll get you the bucket.
Oh, you will?
Yes, ma'am. Whatever bucket you want.
All right.
And maybe a Diet Coke if you drink Diet Coke.
No, I don't.
Okay.
But water.
We'll do you water. I'm
Okay.
person too.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
But thank you so much, and we all look forward to seeing it July 11th, right?
Yes.
And I know my family will probably see it at the drive-in theater and at a regular theater.
Absolutely.
There's been, I don't know if, can I say this? There's been an idea floated that I might do something at the drive-in.
Oh,
but
nice.
I don't know yet.
Nice.
So that would be fun.
Yeah. Well, we'll be there. I've always wanted to go to that theater, to the drive-in, so that should be my first one.
Well, I heard somebody saying that it's one of the best ones around.
Yeah.
And I've never been there, so
Oh,
it
it's
would be
great.
fun.
We love going.
That may be how my family sees it. We may all go to the drive-in to see it. We haven't decided yet.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's exciting, and we're so happy for you. And I mean, like I said, we've already fallen in love with you, and I know America's going to do the same.
Yes.
And
let's hope.
oh no, I'm
They
believing
will.
it.
They
So
will, yeah.
Well, thank you.
And but thank you so much for being with us, and we look forward to seeing the movie and seeing all the different opportunities that are going to come your way after that.
I do too.
So,
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
all right, Rojo fam, you guys just heard it, you saw it. We had an incredible time today with Ma Kent, and we love you guys, and have a great week.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
I'd like to introduce myself. I don't believe that we have ever met. I think that we could hit it off so well. Let me paint a picture, you and me together. I'd like to introduce myself.